Hi, this is Mel Hom, the Math 110C instructor at City College of San Francisco. I'm teaching two sections. This is the same introduction for both sections, except for the time difference. So I'm going to just go over the syllabus, let you know what my requirements are for the class and so forth. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Right, so, and you'll be getting all of this. You should have gotten these at your City College email address. Now, Canvas isn't going to work until school starts, so I can't send anything through Canvas. Once school starts, I'll send everything through Canvas, but for right now, I'll just email all of you. All right, so the course is Math 110C, Calc 3. Now, this is the syllabus for my Tuesday, Thursday, 11:10 to 1:25 class. The syllabus for the afternoon and evening class is exactly the same, except the time is different, but otherwise, it's completely identical. So you know which section you belong to, 510 to 725. You know who you are. All right. My office hours, Tuesdays, 1:35 to 2, or Thursdays, 4:35 to 5 on Zoom. I will give you the Zoom links for those if you want to catch me during office hours. Okay, so the course again, Tuesday, Thursday, 11:10 to 1:25. For some of you, it's 5:10 to 7:25. The class is mostly asynchronous, which means most of the time we're not meeting during these times. The only time we're meeting during these times are exam days and the final exam. And I'll go over that in a moment. So your responsibility is to just look at the videos and study the required text sections. But for the most part, we're not meeting during these times. All right, the text, you can read this on your own. Course description, this is legal, I've got to put it. What are we covering in the course? Here it is. Prerequisite is Calc 2, obviously. And student learning outcomes, this is something I'm supposed to put. You can look at it or not. And there we are. Okay, protocol. This protocol isn't in effect. This was made pre-pandemic, so you can pretty much ignore everything here to here. You say, why do I leave it? Well, I leave it in there so I don't have to reinvent the wheel in case next semester we're back to meeting face-to-face, then I've already got the template. But I've already said to you, just ignore this, everything about protocol, how you're supposed to behave, missing class, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't exist because there are no meetings. So basically skip protocol. In fact, maybe I'll just go like this. That pretty much emphasizes it. But again, I want to leave it in case I need it for next semester and I don't have to think, what did I put in there? So typically you'll be given sections to prepare and you are to read the corresponding section. So you read the sections day by day and watch the videos associated with each section. The videos are usually less than 30 minutes long. Okay, so you want to know how are you supposed to keep up. So August the 17th, our first day, the introductory video, which is what you're looking at now, and 12.1. And then the 19th, 12.2, 12.3, and so on. Okay. Now, even though the scheduled time is 2.5 hours, it isn't going to take 2.5 hours to look at the two videos at the max, or maybe even one. Most videos are 30 minutes or less. But because of that, the videos tend to go really fast. The reason why I make them fast is so that it takes up less memory, less space. And I also realized that, well, this is a video, it's being recorded. You can fast forward, pause, rewind, go back and forth as much as you want. So that being the case, you might see me going fairly quick through the videos. I don't speak as slowly as I would in a normal face-to-face setting. So I'm going sort of turbo talking, so to speak, might be going relatively fast. Again, in order to keep the videos short and also realize you can always pause, rewind, fast forward as much as you wish. So the videos are short, usually half an hour or less, but they tend to go fairly quickly. All right, so attendance, there's no required attendance. However, there's either a quiz or an exam every week. And the way I'll count lack of attendance is if you miss 4 quizzes or exams. That's basically 4 weeks worth. So every week there's going to be either a quiz or an exam. So if you look at this calendar, you can see every week, quiz, exam, quiz, and so on, all the way through the semester. Right. So if you accumulate 4 quizzes or exams where I don't get anything from you, then that's my trigger that you're not interested in staying in the course. If you think you have an exception, then of course, let me know, send me an email. if that's the case. All right, homework. There will be homework almost every class meeting, and the homework will be collected every exam day. So every time there's an exam, you turn in the homework. Okay, so if you look at the schedule, when do you turn in the first homework set? Tuesday, 8:31. And this is synchronous. This is the only time that you have to actually formally meet. Second homework set, Tuesday, 9:14. Third homework set, Thursday, 10:07. Fourth homework set, 11:02. Fifth homework set, 12:02. And then we have the final exam. So the only days you're scheduled to meet with me face-to-face are the exam days. Okay, so there are no synchronous meetings otherwise. So the scheduled time for you 11 o'clock people, 11:10 to 1:25, the only time that we are meeting are these exam days, 8:31, 9:14, 10:07, 11:02, 12:02, and the final exam, 12:16. Okay. And of course, for those of you in the late class, we meet 5:10 to 7:25 on the same days. Okay. So all these other days, we're not meeting. Okay. You read on your own, you study on your own, you look at the videos. Okay. Well, that's the way that works. All right, so you turn in the homework. What is the homework? Right. So you've got the homework for the entire semester. Unless I decide to change something, here it is. So first exam, chapter 12, you turn in 12.1 to 12.6. Second exam, 13.1 to 13.4, only 4 sections. Third exam, all of chapter 14. Fourth exam, 15.1 to 59. Fifth exam, 16.1 to 69. That's what you turn in. In reality, in the lectures, I do a bunch of these problems anyway, so that shortens your assignment. Okay, so even though I say you are responsible for these problems, I end up doing 30%, 40%, maybe even half, or even more than half of the homework problems. I want to make sure that I demonstrate enough of the problems so you know how to do the rest of the problems. Okay, so that gets done in the videos, and the other time, so for instance, if you're scheduled to look at 12.1, you read 12.1, look at the video, and you do the homework problems that I didn't do, and just copy down the ones that I did do, I suppose is the way to say it. All right, so homework is collected every exam day. Homework is not graded for accuracy, just for completion. I don't have time or energy to look at every single problem. And besides, in general, most of the homework problems tend to be odds, which means you've got answers in the back of the book. So if it's graded on accuracy, well, you've got the answers in the back of the book for most of the problems. So I'm just looking for completion for the most part. Now, of course, the back of the book has the answers, but not the setups. You're always responsible for the setups on any quizzes and exams. Okay, so show me every single step, not just the final answer. All right, so homework is worth 100 points. It's fairly easy to get the full 100 on homework. Just do it. Okay, and I don't grade it for accuracy. Okay, quizzes. I will give the quizzes on Canvas announcements, usually sometime on Thursday, and they'll do 11:59 p.m. the next Friday, the very next day. They're open everything, open book, open note, open discussion, right? So how do you like that? There's no good reason why you can't get full credit on quizzes. You can talk about it, you can use your book, you can use your note, discuss it with somebody, and you have until Friday of the day after the quiz. Take a picture of your work or scan it, email it to me, and my email address, mhom@ccsf.edu. So if you look at the calendar, most quizzes are on Thursdays. Okay, so first quiz Thursday the 19th, you have until Friday the 20th at 11:59 p.m. to submit the quiz. Second quiz Thursday the 26th, you have until 11:59 p.m. Friday the 27th to submit that quiz, and so on. Okay, so that's the way quizzes generally work. And by the way, not all the exams are Thursdays, some exams are Tuesdays, but if we have an exam on Tuesday, I'm not going to give you a quiz on the same week. You either get an exam or a quiz, but not both in general. All right, so exams, 5 exams, 1 for each chapter. The exams are closed book and closed notes, but you're allowed to have 1 formula sheet. Okay, so the extent of your cheat sheet is 1 8.5 by 11 sheet, both sides, front and back. Put down anything that you wish, any formula, sample problems, that's allowed. Okay, and the exams are the only synchronous portion of the class. Okay, so once again, the only time we are meeting face to face, whether you're in my 11 o'clock class or 5 o'clock class, are the exams. Okay, so you log in, and I give you the links to Zoom by email. I'll get out that to you. So here, 8:31, 9:14, 10:07. So you know all the dates. 11:02, 12:02, and the final exam 12:16. And I'll give you reminders, every day on what's happening on Canvas announcements anyway. So you shouldn't have any reason to forget stuff. Okay, and let's see. So you have the entire 2.5 hours for the exams. Most of the time you won't need that long. Questions are similar to the ones from the homework assignments. I don't give trick questions. I don't give surprise questions. Exams are 100 points each. Generally, there's no makeup or rescheduled exams. If you think you have an unusual situation, let me know. And you're allowed to drop one exam, which might be part of the final exam. Now, don't think of not showing up for the final exam. You should take the final exam. All right? And because this is generally an asynchronous class, I don't really get to know what my students are like, what they look like, and so on. So sometime before the first exam, which means for us, sometime before 8:31, if you have it, you can send it in now. You must show me a picture ID, having your name and picture on it, and you can cross off any other sensitive information, birthday, address. Like example, easy things on a driver license. All I really need is your name and picture. So here's an example of all I need for me. Here's my driver license, got my picture, my name. I crossed off everything else, birthday, where I live, and blah, blah, blah. Just blacken it all out. So take a picture of your driver license, perhaps, or, something that has your ID. All I need is your ID with your name, cross off date of birth and address and other sensitive information. This is all I need so that during the exam, I can see what you look like, because I don't know what you all look like, right? Because we don't meet except for exams, and therefore it's pretty easy, for people to cheat and say, oh, my name is John Doe, but someone else takes the test for you, right? So that's one way that I can monitor that, right? So you have until the first exam day to get me that. You can send it to me now if you wish. Okay, so I send the exam on Canvas announcements. During exams, I want your camera on, have the true background, so no Golden Gate Bridge or something else like that. Keep yourself muted. And if you have any questions during exams, you can just put them in the chat. Okay, cheating. All of this basically says don't cheat. You know, and I know that it's much easier to cheat in this environment than if we were meeting face to face. If we were meeting face to face, I can walk around the room, take a look, hey, what's going on here? What's going on there? We all know it's easier to cheat under these Zoom circumstances, okay? But I'll go ahead and say, so you're expected not to discuss with anybody else. Don't use your book. Don't look up stuff on your cell phone, your computer. Don't consult any other books or tables or internet or whatever. If somehow I do find out you're cheating, you automatically, of course, have to get a score of 0 and further disciplinary actions, okay? And something else, for each exam, I reserve the right to give an oral exam follow-up on Zoom. So if I suspect you're cheating, okay, I might say, okay, I'm going to meet with you, and you'll be told ahead of time, and we'll make a mutually agreed time, and I'll say, okay, we're going to meet on Zoom one-on-one, and I want you to show me how did you do problem 4, or how did you do problem 7, if I think there might have been cheating going on. And so you'll speak to me orally, and if what you say orally doesn't seem to match what you put down on the paper, I might decide to go with your oral score, right? So please keep that in mind if I suspect cheating on your part. I get 2 exams from 2 students. Hey, the problems that you got right are the same, the problems you got wrong are the same, and the way you did them right and the way you did them wrong are exactly the same. And what's the odds that that happens by chance? Very low, right? So that's what I have to say about cheating. Okay, disability. If you have a documented disability from DSPS and you need the accommodations, then let me know. There's no extra credit. And there's a final exam worth 300 points, comprehensive. The final exam is similar in content to the other exams. you should really think of the final exam as being 3 100-point exams. So think of taking 8 100-point exams. So you have exam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the final exam, pretend it's like taking 3 100-point tests. You're not really taking 3 100-point tests. You're just taking one test. I'll give you a score between 0 and 100, and it gets put down 3 times. Get this thing focused here. Right? So there are 8 scores total. So let's say the 5 exam scores are 80, 90, 70, 85, and 95. And then let's say in the final exam, you get a 90. Then it's just like you took exam 6, which is a 90, exam 7, which is a 90, exam 8, which is a 90. So there's 8 scores, and out of those 8, you get to drop 1. Okay? Suppose you miss a test. If you miss a test, say, oh, I got sick on exam 2. Okay, that counts as a 0, but obviously you get to drop that exam. Okay, so if your final exam is your lowest score, so let's say you got 90, 95, 90, 100, and 85, and then your final exam is a 60, then it goes 60, 60, 60 in my grade book. You get to drop one of the 60s, but you have to keep the other 2 60s. So that means it's not a good idea to just skip the final exam. Okay, so even if you ace all the exams, they're all A's, you don't want to skip the final because it goes 0, 0, 0. You get to drop one of the zeros, but you have to keep the other 2 zeros, and obviously that's not too good for your average. Right, so that's how that works. Okay, we know the date of the final exam, Thursday, December 16th. For 11 o'clock people, it's 11:10 to 1:25. And the only difference for you 5 o'clock people is, of course, it's 5 o'clock, 5:10 to 7:25. And in case you're all wondering, I don't necessarily give the same exam for 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock. In case you think of just copying what the other section had, it doesn't work that way. So please plan your plane tickets, vacations, and so on around planning to come Thursday the 16th. So here's the total course points. 5 exams plus a final exam is 700 because 100 points is dropped. So 500 plus 100, 100 is 800. Subtract 100 for 700. Quizzes are 100. There's no reason why you can't really get 100 on quizzes. They're open everything. 100 for participation, which is basically homework. There's no reason why you can't get 100 on that too. So it's almost like there's 200 free points, folks. Total points is 900, and my grading scale is 90, 80, 70, 60. And you should be somewhat familiar with that. So that's the course, folks. Again, I need to get this from you, either a driver's license or some other ID. And you can just cross off like I have here. All I need is your picture and your name. You can cross off all the other sensitive information. Here's our tentative schedule. Okay, so Tuesday 17th. This introductory video, which presumably you've already seen, but I'll just send that again, and the 12.1 video. Thursday the 19th, 12.2 and 12.3 videos. Okay. Now, I'm giving you all the videos ahead of time, and it looks like some of you already looked at some of them because some of you, even before the semester started, have already looked at some of the videos. Okay, so look at the video. You can look at the videos anytime you want. Okay, you don't have to meet at our scheduled time of 11 o'clock or 5 o'clock, except for the exam. So you can watch the videos anytime you want. You don't have to watch them at 11 o'clock or at 5 o'clock. Although if you want to, of course you may. You can watch them at 12 midnight or 3 in the morning or 10 in the morning or whatever. So if you want to watch it, 11:10 to 1:25 for the 11 o'clock people, or what, 5:10 to 7:25, you may, but you can watch it anytime. Okay, and then there's quiz 1 and 12.4, 12.5, quiz 2. But again, I'm giving you all the videos so you can set your own time frame that you want. Then you meet synchronously on Zoom Tuesday the 31st, Tuesday the 14th, and so on, and 10/7, and 11/2, and 12/2, and then final exam 12/16. And you say, what is the homework? We've got all the homework for the whole semester, unless I decide to change it. I might say from time to time, oh, I should have put this problem in. Then I'll tell you to do such and such a problem, or I might throw out a problem. But this is, 90, 95% of what the course is pretty much going to be. So the first exam, you turn in 12/1 to 12/6. Just take a picture on your cell phone or scan it, preferably, and then email it to me. Second exam, 13/1 to 13/4. Third exam, 14/1 to 14/8. fourth exam 15.1 to 15.8, and 59, sorry, and last exam 16.1 to 16.9. Okay, so that is the exam. Anytime you have any questions, you can catch me during office hours. So Tuesdays 1:35 to 2 on Zoom. I'll give you the Zoom link for that. And 4:35 to 5 also on Zoom. And by the way, the links that I give you on Zoom for our scheduled times, which are either 5:10 to 7:25 or 11:10 to 1:25, I set it up daily so that you have the same link all the way through. But we're not meeting every day. We're only meeting face to face, what, 6 times? Okay. But in order to have the same link, so I don't have to make a new Zoom link every time, I'll just set it up so that it's daily. So we're not meeting the majority of the time. So even though it's set up daily and you'll see the dates for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday and Sunday, we're not meeting any of those days, just on the exam days. For you 11 o'clock people, 11:10 to 1:25, and for you 5 o'clock people, 5:10 to 7:25. So when you get the Zoom link, it isn't every day. It's only 6 meetings, but I want you to have the same Zoom link. Otherwise, I have to make a separate Zoom link all the time. So don't meet all the other days. You know, I'm not showing up. Okay, so all the other days, the majority of the days, I'm not meeting. I'm not starting up on Zoom. Just on the exam days that are there. Now the Zoom links for office hours, they are weekly. So they're separate. There's a separate Zoom link for this, separate Zoom link for this. So if you want to catch me during office hours here or here, you may do that also. And of course, you can always send me an email at mhom@ccsf.edu. All right, so that's Calc 3. That's my introduction to Calc 3. And hope you have a good and successful semester. And we'll see you later.